Hey everyone, how's it going today? Just wanted to do a little video, show you some cool stuff that I just picked up at the coin store. I got my first ever Engelhard Prospector coins. I was never familiar with them until my local coin store bought them in. Started looking into them a little bit and they're pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about them. So this is the front right here. Engelhard was a private mint that was pretty well known, is still pretty well known. And in the 80s, they came out with these 1 ounce Prospector, American Prospector 1 ounce rounds. And basically, because Engelhard is no longer in production, these have a little bit of sentimental collector value for some people. So I got these for $50 each today, which silver, obviously, if you follow this channel, you're probably aware, is on an absolute tear right now. Silver's up to over $44 an ounce, which is amazing since it was at about $30 at the beginning of the year. So that's exciting. So the front here has got a prospector guy looking for gold, I guess, back in the day. And then in the back, we've got this eagle, which is pretty sweet. And the reason I bought these is because normally I just kind of stick to the standard stuff, you know, rounds, eagles, not really into collector stuff. But this was the same price as the American Eagles. They were also selling the Eagles for $50 each. So I wasn't buying something at a huge markup for collector value. I was getting it for the same price as the Eagles. And I was looking online and, you know, my coin store, my local coin store is relatively competitive. But at the same time, you know, you probably, if you do a little research, due diligence, can buy stuff a little cheaper online. I kind of like buying it in person and supporting my local store. But these are actually selling online for more than $50. It's one of the only things, that's not even counting shipping costs. It's one of the only things I think I've ever bought from the coin store that's actually less than you can even buy it online. So I figured if I'm going to get a collector item, I might as well get something that seems to be selling for a fair value. So I've got 5 of these. Now, apparently there are some years that are more valuable than others, and there are some of them that on the back, instead of this eagle here, has an E on the back. If you ever run into those, I guess those are a little bit more valuable. The year 1983 is a little more valuable for some reason. These are just regular, like 84, 82, 85. So they're not like special collector years or anything like that, but still a really cool thing to add to my collection at a fair price. And because it's an Engelhard product, it still carries some prestige. So, you know, you'll see silver rounds out there that have you know, Spider-Man or Donald Trump or, you know, whatever on the front. And if you're into those things, that's cool, like no disrespect. But it's, you know, it doesn't carry the same cachet when you try to sell it or trade it in someday. It's more of just a niche thing where, because this is made by a famous minting company that no longer is in business, even though it's not a you know, U.S. minted item, it still carries some prestige, you know, and cachet when you go to sell it someday. So these are really cool. I'm really excited to add them to my stack. Obviously, gold and silver is through the roof and doesn't really seem like it's slowing down. Who obviously knows what's going to happen next? But, you know, I've been preaching the long term since I started this channel over a year ago. And silver is up 49% year to date this morning. So we're about to hit that 50% mark for the year, which is crazy. Better than the stock market, better than anything, really. It's truly amazing. Gold, $3,800, which is remarkable. And then one little last thing I wanted to share with you guys is I got my first ever Mexican Libertad coin. I actually got this a few weeks ago, but I wanted to include it in the video because I thought it was cool. So this is made by the Mexican government official mint. You know, I usually, like I said, stick to the Liberty Rounds and the American Eagles, but this is a relatively prestigious coin as well because it's made by an official mint of a country. And this is a 2012, which is pretty cool. So this was in the round section, so it was less expensive than American Eagles, silver maples. It was the same price as the generic rounds, so I thought that was some pretty good value. And if I see an official mint, from a country that I don't have, I try to snag it so I get at least one. I have at least one Krugerrand, at least one Britannica. Now I have at least one of these Mexican Libertads. So if you can pay round price for a round, that's made by a different country's official mint, I think that's pretty good value. They did a good job on the design on this too. This is the front, which you can see is pretty cool. And then I'm just going to flip it back so you guys can see it. It's got these kind of eagle looking things on there. Estados Unidos, Mexico. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I don't remember exactly what I paid because, like I said, it was a couple weeks ago, and silver, even in a couple weeks, has gone up quite a bit. But I paid the generic round price, so that's really all that matters. And yeah, I like the Eagles better, obviously, but I like having at least one of these too. So just wanted to share these with you guys. Hope everything's going well for you. Obviously, if you're buying silver and gold, things are going pretty well for you. Let me know what you guys are stacking, and have a good day.